All right, let's get started here. So this is going to be my last stream of the year. Just going to be continuing working on what I started last time, which is just contract development for Strongpool, the distributed mining pool I'm working on for Arweave. Let's see, I guess I hadn't really thought through my intro here. So I think I'm split between wanting to start coding and seeing if I should say anything for the end of the year. I guess, I intend to keep streaming next year. I think my schedule might be not quite weekly. Just have more things going on, but I do plan to keep on doing this. I also, this past month or so, you gotten a little overwhelmed with holidays, various things going on. So I haven't done as much of the the more lecture-like things, which I don't know. I hope people enjoy both, but I think those might actually have a little more lasting value than some of the coding. But anyway, I plan to do more of those in the next year. I definitely want to do some that are just focused on like how does Arweave work, because I think we could use more content out there, both written, video, all the kinds of content about that, because it's that knowledge just isn't as diffused as I think it could be. So yeah, I guess that's all I'll say here, just the beginning in terms of like general intro. I'm a little bit over caffeinated, under rested, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this will come out okay. All right, so last time, I'm trying to think. I was going to do this one last week, but I had a conflict, so I kind of have to get my brain into where we left off the previous time. So I think the previous time I went down a little bit of a dead end with how I was going to test the contract initially. I started out with just using the stock SmartWeave implementation. I switched to Redstone. I was going to attempt to do some command line based testing. Oh, let me double check my audio too. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay. I was going to do some command line based testing using that and RLocal, just to test everything locally without hitting Arweave anywhere. And that did not work out. So I switched to the Redstone SmartWeave implementation, and then I just started writing unit tests as opposed to trying to test it out from the command line. And that's basically where I wanted to end up anyway, so not so bad. It did mean that didn't really get to working on the contract as much as I hoped in that video. In the meantime, I went in and just set up a bunch of that. So I can't take too much credit for this setup. I think most of this setup was borrowed in various forms from the stuff that Cedric has done, both on... Well, actually, I'm not really sure where I grabbed all of it from immediately, but we're gonna be looking at the Community XYZ, which Community XYZ is kind of like a DAO management platform for Arweave. So we're gonna be digging into some of that contract because it has a bunch of ideas we can borrow. But anyway, yeah, I borrowed a bunch of this code from Cedric to use as inspiration, and then also from the Redstone folks. They have some good examples, SmartWeave examples in their documentation for their Redstone smart contracts implementation. So just want to make sure I give them proper credit on that stuff. All right, so yeah, let's. First thing I'm going to do is just show running some tests here. And by the way, I've done JavaScript before. I've done some TypeScript, but mostly actually. Strangely, in the context of AWS doing stuff with CDK, but I'm not a TypeScript expert, so I guess that's just to say, please don't mindlessly copy things I do in TypeScript. It may not be the best way. While I'm in ClojureScript or Clojure, well, I still do messy things, but I know when they're messy, so I usually describe them as such. In TypeScript, I may be doing some not great stuff and not know it. So yeah, I guess just take it all with a grain of salt. I'm kind of figuring out some of this stuff as I go, because that's just... more familiar with other languages. So yeah, again, this is stuff I borrowed. So I have my contract spec in here. This is using, what is this using? Jest, I think, which I don't have a strong opinion on I'm sorry, on JavaScript or TypeScript testing libraries. That's just, I mean, I have used that one before. It's fine, and others were using it, so I'm using it here, and seems okay so far. So, I should probably get the documentation up for that too. Let me close a few things here. Pull this tab out. Close that one. Yes, just JavaScript. Fancy animation and everything. Okay, so get that up in case we need it. All right, so yeah, let's go look at the contract. Look at these things open side by side. So I hope to actually get this pretty close to functional for what I need. I don't need a whole lot in this. Basically, I just need a way to transfer balances, to stake, and to unstake with a time delay. And I don't think I've seen the unstake with time delay implemented in SmartWeave. I don't even know. I mean, I assume someone has done this in smart contracts before, but like this is not, smart contracts are not my area of expertise. So I'm going to implement something, and it may not be exactly the best thing, but I think I have a scheme that will work. And I hope to just incorporate more knowledge as I learn more about these things. So so yeah, we need, so I got a little derailed there, rambling. We need transfers. This is tell us our balance. That's fine too. It's actually not, it's not, just think about, I mean, you do want to be able to tell the balance. Ultimately, it's only going to let you transfer between people who have appropriate balances. But yeah, you need to tell the balance. You need to be able to stake, unstake with time delay, and I need to be able to slash. And for the test version of this, I'm just trying to implement the very minimal. So it's basically just going to be like the owner or a set of designated addresses can slash. And then eventually it's going to be some sort of vote-based slashing. But in the beginning, I do need to have people be able to stake so they have something at risk when they're mining, so that it'll force distribution of any block rewards they get. But I don't view the staking, I don't view the slashing as needing to be fully decentralized to start with for a public release. And people can just, evaluate how trustworthy they think I am and make their decision about whether to join the pool based on that. Yeah, oops. I think I pushed a button here in my... that's fine. Thought I pushed a button on my mic. Sorry about that. I think, let's see, did I put this in here? Might be able to make it evolve too. Evolving is a thing where you can basically update the contract. For the test contract, I want that. We probably won't get into testing it though in this stream. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to do, I'll just describe the scheme I'm going to use for that time delayed unlocking. So, so the way this is set up currently, we have state, we have balances, can evolve, which is just that flag about whether we can evolve the contract or not. These are just our inputs. And balances is just an array, or a map, I should say, I guess, that goes from caller to quantity. And what I think I want to do is make this two-dimensional. So it's caller, block height, and quantity. And the block height is basically going to be the point at which the tokens in that element of the array are unlocked. So, let's say my staking period is, or my round length is like 2,000. My mining pool round length is 2,000. I want to make sure people are staked so they can't unlock, within like 3 rounds, something like that. So, unlock period of 6,000. So if we're mining at block 10,000, someone unlocks. That's going to put a balance into their array of balances at 16,000. Hopefully that makes sense. So that means that once you get up to that height, you can you could have that balance, but up until then, it's still basically staked. So you could potentially be slashed. Well, that's interesting too. The slashing, I hadn't exactly thought through. So I don't think any of this logic is complicated. It's just there's just a little bit of bookkeeping to do when you're dealing with it that way. So let's go ahead and just change this. I'm just going to go through. Yeah, let's do the transfer. Just implement transfer with that two-dimensional array, and then we'll go ahead and do the staking and unstaking. And let me look too. I think so. I want to use the community XYZ contract as a little bit of a reference because it has a lot of things in it. They use a little bit of different. Oops, lock. They use a little bit of different terminology in here. I think they're calling it locking. Increase vault. Interesting. What's the ID? Invalid vault ID. Well, it looks like there's some functionality here. I don't know what it means. So like the vault IDs, I don't know what those are. I'm just not familiar enough with community XYZ to know what some of this stuff means. Color in vault, vault color, length, smartly block height, locked end. Okay. So anyway, yeah, let's just start with the transfer. So, ooh, and we need to update the state too. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, that's in the test though. Yeah. So our tests. I should look through the tests too. So basically, the way the tests are working, and some of this is still a little janky to be honest. Like I'm just hard coding a port here. We're starting up an R local. Okay, yeah. So we we initialize everything up here. So we do it just on a fixed port. I would like the port to be dynamic. I don't know. You could. I think just making this 0 would assign it dynamically, but it wasn't obvious to me how to pull the port out of our local if you assign it dynamically. So that, I'm sure that's I'm sure it's doable. At least it's doable with a pull request to our local. But for right now, I just went with a manually assigned port. Not great, but it works to get started. Doing a little SmartWeave or Redstone SmartWeave setup here. And then I have these hooks that just do the, it probably should be before each actually. Interesting. Well, right now it's before all, but I think that should be before each. It probably just works because I only have one test, but we'll probably change that. Yeah, because we'll need to... Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine, actually, because... So the reason I was thinking this would need to be before each is because like we need to clear out the contract state, but we're setting up a new contract every time we do this, so probably fine, actually. Yeah, so that's setting up our local, starting up our virtual Arweave server, test Arweave server, whatever you want to call it. And then I think... Yeah, I think I grabbed all of these from the community XYZ tests. They don't quite work as is because, yeah, I've changed stuff, but they're a good reference point to start with. Okay, so we're testing transfer balances. We just have one test here. It's going to generate us a wallet. We're going to get the wallet address. And, I don't even think I finished writing that test. So all it's really doing is just setting up the initial contract state. So we can finish out this test and add some new ones. Let's go ahead and make this do something. Maybe just get the balance, honestly. What does that look like? Do we have an example? state balances. Well, let's do that. Do wallet. Let's do this. Wallet 2, wallet address 2. This needs to be wallet 2. Just comment those out for the moment to make our linter quiet. Okay. Okay, so what does interacting with this look like? Documentation, TS docs. No, I want some examples. Show me some examples here. Utils. The tutorial will be good. I think that's what I was referring to last time. Okay, well, let's just do this. So let's just read the state, and we can check the initial balance. So do a const state equals oh, we need to initialize the contract too. Interesting. Oh, let's see what happens. Wonder why Vim doesn't indent that. I would have indented it the same way they did. Vim didn't though. Huh. Interesting. Weird. Well, something's a little funky there with my Vim setup. Okay, so let's see. Doing SmartWave create contract, that gets us the contract transaction ID. We're initializing the contract here, and then we're going to read the state. And let's just do the old console log state and see what happens when we run that. So I would expect this would run, right? And it should print our state at the end. What's the deal here? Unexpected token. Really? Oh, did we not? Yeah, I think it's that we did not. Wait. See, they must have defined. Where did they define that? Mine. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, let's do this. Dude. Fascinating. I didn't know about this Arweave API get method. All right, let's try that. So we'll do await mine. Let's see what happens. Oops, not mint, mine. All right, now what? Now what? I did mine though, right? Let's try bloop. Definitely were running a minute ago. Okay, yeah, so it does the transaction. We bogging down here? Oh, okay. So it gets that far. It's just the read state. It doesn't like the read state. That's interesting. Okay, did I miss something? So we're doing a mine. We're doing memcache. Does that actually mean like, I wonder what that means. Let me look at their caching. I think the thing yeah. Let me go back here and look at the so when I look at this, I wonder, does this mean like a memory cache, or does this like mean memcache D? So I want to go figure that out because I don't know. I think they have different implementations here. So cache, cache, local storage cache. See, SmartWeave Node Factory. Okay, well, let's find that. So SmartWeave Node Factory. Okay. Where is that thing defined? Oops, I'm looking in the wrong repo there. One of you are in this one. That would be why. Okay, let me look here. So cache, implementation. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, well, let's look at, let me paste that in there. So SmartWeave Node Factory is defined where, I should really be using source graph more often too. Node, okay, well fine, let's go look at that. So back up one, source, core, node, SmartWeave Node Factory. Okay. Okay, file cache connects. I don't know what that is. Where's the mem? File cached. File cached. SmartWeave Web Factory? Wow, okay. Web? SmartWeave Web Factory? Is it in here? Remote cache based. Fully configurable. See, returns a fully configured that is using memcache for all layers. Yeah, I think it's just in memory. Have people forgot that like memcached is a thing? Because that's super confusing to me, anyway. I'm maybe not confusing to the people writing this. Okay, so yeah, okay, so let me go back and look at the error. So what do we got here? Unexpected token loading the definition. So yeah, I wonder if our contract somehow isn't getting loaded correctly. Oh, let's see. Let me console.log. What does that look like? I think it should work. Yeah, let's just did that print? I don't see it. Let's find out. Ah, it did print. Just was. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I need to like to string that. Oh, really? Let me look. So, what does that look like over here? I wonder. Maybe that's just my issue. I'm just being stupid about JavaScript stuff. JSON stringify. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, this did not work before. I just didn't realize it because yeah, obviously. I'm used to Clojure where like when you toString things, they're always going to print in some sort of like actual data structure form, but that's not the way JavaScript works. So yeah, silly mistake. Okay, so right. So this should actually give us the state here at the end. Be interesting to see how far we get. I bet we can still get the whole array thing going. All right, so that looks like what I would expect. So yeah, let's do a transfer here and see what happens. And once we have the transfer, we can implement the arrayification or further arrayification of balances. Let me check my comments too. Okay, so over here. No, over here. Over here. Maybe this one. Oh, that's the. Yeah, it was this one. Sorry. Or not. I was just trying to find the example I had where they were going through all the interactions. It's not this one. That's the reference. There we go. Did I still have it up? No. Well, at least I... Okay. Right. Okay. So let's do a write interaction. So we want to do contract. Contract.write, and we're going to do bloop. Function transfer, and right. So that takes a target. Let's do this. I like it better this way. Function. So we want a target, which is going to be wallet. Oop, got to uncomment that. All right, so that's going to be wallet 2. And then quantity, doesn't really matter. We'll just do 100, whatever, small amount here. Or I don't know, maybe our contract, maybe our token is worth a lot. So that's not a small amount. It's millions of dollars, those 100 tokens. I'm going with that. This is an astronomical amount. Strong pool has taken over the world. All token value is now accruing to strong pool. All right, well, that does not look good. Connection refused. Really? Why? Why would that be connection refused? Strange. At what point is it refusing our connection? Weird. Let me look. Well, that works. Okay, so contract write interaction. What's going on with our write interaction? Oh, is it because... I wonder if it's because I did not... It's probably it. Yeah, it's probably an async thing. So I didn't await it. So I bet I bet I got shut down. Makes sense. There we go. Okay. So, right. So we do another mine. And then await that. Function transfer. Oh, am I, yeah, so it's like, why hasn't it changed? But I think it's just because I read the state up here. So let's print the state down here. Yeah, I copied the wrong thing. Okay, that's more like I would expect. Why? Okay, so one thing that's interesting to me, I want to, oh, it's probably because of this. It's like, why is this quoted? I think it's just a matter of how it's printing, though. Just to double check, I want to JSON string. I want to make sure those keys, there's nothing weird going on there. I don't think there is. I think that's just an artifact of how it's printing it. Okay. Yeah, that looks normal. Yeah, I think it's just because there's a dash in them sometimes, and the dash would be a minus if you didn't quote that. So it's like being smart about how it quotes it. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish turning this into a test. So, so I would expect let's grab this one. So this state balances. Cannot find name balances, really? What do you mean you can't find name balances? Is this is this TypeScript being TypeScript? Just gonna do this the slightly hackish way because I don't want to futz around understanding TypeScript on a stream when I'm not a TypeScript expert. Okay, so let's do. So this would be, oops. To be. Well, let's just do one of these first. So the balance for wallet address 2 should be 100, right? Because we just transferred to it. And the balance for wallet address. So let's whatever. I was like, should I put a 1 in front of that? But whatever. I guess I will. It just reads weird to me if I don't have some number in there. Let's do this actually. 0, 1, 1, 0, and this would be 0. This would be 0. Then this would be 0. What? What do you mean not assignable? Argument of type wallet is not assignable to contract data. Really? Oh, because yeah, it drives me a little crazy. So the TypeScript has that shorthand. I think it's TypeScript, not JavaScript. Has that shorthand where you abbreviate the key value pair, which is like nice for reading, but it trips me up every time when I'm changing it. I guess the at least TypeScript clues you in with the type hints, but don't love that kind of syntax sugar, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to. We'll just grab that from over here. So this is the amount. I mean, technically, right? I should do this myself. I'm like, what am I expecting? But, Okay. Here we go. Uh-oh. What happened? Balances. Cannot read property. Why not? State. Oh, it's in state. Is nope. Console log state. Maybe it is. Is it interesting? Read state. Null 2. Interesting. What are the extra JSON stringify? What are the extra args to stringify? Replacer space. Today I learned. All right, let's do null 2. I assume that the main thing they care about is just that 2 for printing purposes. All right, let's take out this. Gotcha. So that's really let's open up our contract here too. So the contract state. Yeah, so it's state.state. Interesting. So if I do state.state, does it let me do that? Does it let me do this? No, probably not. Okay, fair enough. Interesting. So I don't love that state.state as a just a naming thing, but I don't know what I want it to be instead. I guess you could say this could be like CS or contract state. I'll just leave it for now. I'll see what other people do and maybe come up with my own convention there. Okay, cool. So we have a working test. Okay. Except, you know what? Let's implement this in terms of the function. So the reason I want to do that is the state, the way we're structuring the state is going to change, right? So I really want to be able to we'll probably do it both ways. I want to be able to send the balances function to the contract, read the balance, and use that to check. Because then the interface won't change when we change how we're structuring things internally. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me look at, do I have the smart weave? Yeah, balance. So what does it look like to, we might have an example of that in community XYZ. Let's look at their tests here. Balances. Okay, state balances. Interacting directly. Okay, well, let's go look at write interaction. I want, what's the, I don't know what the name of that is. I guess let's just look in the code here. So contract. So what do we have? We have a read state, view state, returns a view of the state computed by the SWC. Okay, yeah, this is similar, I think, interact read. So the input to the contract, the function name and parameters, the block height, the set of tags that can be added to the interaction. Interesting. Transfer, additional AR transfer data that can be added to the interaction. I don't fully understand. Let's see. Returns a view of the state. This is a derivative of a current state in some specific smart contract business, similar to the evaluates the contract state to the requested, having the contract state on this block height. It then calls the contract's code with a specified input. I don't know why there's the extra stuff here. I mean, maybe that's for like. I don't know, to be honest. That's interesting. I don't know why they let you do the tags and the transfer. Well, it's not super important right now, so I won't I won't think about it too much. Okay, so let's try balances, right? So we should be able to do this. Contract.interact. Oh no, it's what is it? View state. View state. Why is that not completing? View state. Really? Oops. It's probably my lack of assignment here. Yeah, okay. All right, let's put this in here. All right, balances, view state, and let's see, what does our balances function work? I think it's just balances, right? That's all we do in there, I think. Balances, and that should give us the current balances. Sure, let's do it. See what that says. Uh-oh. No function supplied or function not recognized balances. Really? Oh, it's not balances, it's just balance. Oh, and it takes a target. Okay. So it's getting a balance. I guess we could implement our own balances to list everything, but that might be kind of not great. So, okay, so target, let's do, wallet address 1. Or 0, sorry. Target's wallet address 0. And just do wallet 0 balance. And down here, just do wallet 0 balance. Except I am breaking how I'm capitalizing things. Okay. Okay. Result. State. Interesting that it prints the state. Why is the ticker undefined there? Target input type ticker, state ticker. Result target ticker. That's odd. Oh, that would be, I need to implement some interfaces for this stuff, catch some of these errors. Yeah, this is the TypeScript way. Clojure, I'd do that with some sort of schema. Which is better, I think, but, you know, whatever. Win in TypeScript. Okay, so... yeah, let's move this down here. Probably keep both of these, to be honest. So we should expect wallet balance 0, wallet 0 balance rather, to be that amount. Really? And we want to be dot result dot balance. Interesting. I definitely need to go through a TypeScript tutorial or two, because it's just not. Okay, fine. Because I'm sure that's not is not the right way to do that. I do wonder. Oh, really? Why not? Result balance. What am I missing here? So type OK, result balance. Oh, this is, yeah, duh. Okay, yeah. I know what's going on here. First of all, let's do this. I think I can do this. Yeah. Okay. Just putting stuff in the wrong place. Now, I don't think this works, right? Yeah. Because I think what I would need to do, again, I'm not going to dig into this in the video because this is just me not being good at TypeScript. Have a result type for this, and then it would do all that for me. Curious, in the redstone examples, do they have yeah, I don't think they'll really go into that. Oh, okay. So that's that one, and then let's do wallet 1 balance, and so this should be 100. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, right, I just did the interaction once. I need to do 2 of these, and then get wallet 1 balance, and then use wallet address 1. Could do that in the loop, whatever. Do it this way. Should work. Let's find out. Cool. I think it worked. Yeah, we get a lot of debug output, which I could, I guess I could turn that. Let's do this. Probably don't need it printing all the debug output in our tests all the time. Huh, still prints a surprising amount of output. But okay, whatever. Tests are working. I'm not going to worry about the output level too much right now. Okay, so let's see. This might get a little involved, actually. Well, shouldn't be to just add 1 level. Okay, so if yeah, well, we'll start with the simple case here. So caller, not target, not is quantity. Caller balances 0 less than quantity. Now, the thing is, this code here, so let's do if not balances caller, or because I think this original code is sort of implicitly assuming that a nil, is that the case? A nil less than 10? Oops, no. Sorry, more closure slipping in there. Yeah, I don't like that though. I do not like that at all. So instead of doing that, we're going to say well, this will still, I want to do explicitly handle nulls. I do not like implicitly saying that a null is less than another number. I would rather make that explicit. Okay, so balances caller minus equals quantity. Yeah, so we'll do this. And this is not general yet. This is just assuming that the balance is all at 0 height, which is going to be where it starts out, but that's not necessarily going to be where. Okay, so if it's new, we first need to do balances target equals bloop. Oh, I just realized no semicolons in here. I think I probably will use semicolons, but whatever. Not going to change it on the fly. Okay, so let's take out this. So the structure will have changed. Oh, and our balance is also not gonna fly with that type of. Well, fine. We'll handle a missing array in a second. Okay. Okay, so does that still work? Let's see. Caller balance is not high enough to send. Really? Okay. It did print. Oh, that would be because our initial state is not right. And this is also, yeah, this is going to be messy too. So so this needs to be an array. All right, so that should work. Try that. No, why not? Oh, I did not do this negation correctly. This should be a not caller balances, right? Yeah. What did we get? Did we get something? Did we get? No. That would be. Why is that? We're probably in here. Yeah, I just changed it in one spot. Okay. What do we get this time? Did I not save that? Expected but received. Interesting. What am I doing wrong here? So type of balances target 0. It's not a number. And then we're returning target 0. Oh, I could also, this is unnecessary. I could just do this, right? Yeah. Still a little bit mystified. Did I not? Oh, silly. I thought I commented these out, but I must have gotten distracted. Okay. I think there's a chance this will work now. All right, cool. So we have a bunch of edge cases to handle, though. First of all, yeah, let's try this. So we can assume, yeah, so I think this, I don't think I need the array here, right? Yeah. Because if we get to this case, it's because we don't have a target at all. And if we've ever interacted with the target by sending it tokens, it should have an array. This is one of those things where, like, I think ultimately I'll write this in TypeScript because I want it to be readable by everyone, but I think I'm going to end up doing some of the testing in ClojureScript because I can do generative testing, which generates just all kinds of interactions. And I think that will be very good for getting the edge cases out of these things. Okay, so yeah, let's try that. Let me also let's change this to like warn or error or something. Just make our tests a little quieter. So it does not like that. Why not? Oh, yes. So this should be, is it? Interesting number. Okay. Cool. Okay, so this, and then let's make this general. So the, what do we want to do here? Const balance equals balances target dot. What do we have in JavaScript? I know I do in ClojurScript, but what are our options here? Filter n x. I guess we'll do qty. Oh, when we filter, what are our args? Do we get index? No. I would like to filter. Index. It's like a. I mean, I could just do this in a loop. I hate that. I would do so in Clojure. I would do something that produced the indexes, and then filter. Entries. Okay, what about that? What is entries? What would that get us? So if I were to do node, let's see, 1, 2, 3 dot entries dot filter actually just do map x console dot log x. Oh, is that not return? Ugh. You can't just take the iterator and do What do iterators do for you in JavaScript? Well, I do not know how useful this is for me to dig into this on stream. I suspect there's a nice, elegant, functional way to do this, but I'm going to do this. So let's do let balance equals 0, and then we'll do for each. Oh, if we do the entries. What's the, doesn't like that of? Look, TypeScript, I'm just copying what's in here. Oh, it's because of this. For const. Okay. So I would like to terminate this loop early. Well, I'll make some to-dos. So, to functional version of this. Terminate loop early. Can you just do a break in a for loop in JavaScript? I don't know. It's probably moot because I just want the functional version in the end anyway. So whatever. Okay, so what I need to know is how do I get the current height? That's probably a SmartWeave thing. So SmartWeave. What do we got? Height. Get the block height requested by user for the given interaction with the contract. I bet SmartWeave tells me about this too. Interfaces. Nope. Yeah, I just want to do a little bit of debugging here. So I want to do console.log date action. I wonder, so the thing I'm trying to figure out here is, do you active TX block height? Are you just supposed to read a global to get the height? Is there an example of that? I guess here we go. Let's look at their examples. Action input. Let's print out action. What does action look like? Not a whole lot on action. Let's see here. So height. And with this, smart weave dot block height. What about the state? Is the state just the state of the? Well, we'll find out, I guess. Yeah, so the state is really just, okay, so how do we get the height? That's got to be in there. Test API, block height, SmartWeave block height. SmartWeave.block.height. Yeah, it should be there, right? SmartWeave block.height. Is TypeScript helping me again? No? Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, let's look at the Redstone one. So, Redstone, SmartWeave, SDK. Okay, so let's do block, let's see, height. What do we got? Contract API. State evaluator. Oh, is it, did I leave out properties, Arweave? What is Arweave? Is it? Really? Huh. Arweave does not exist on type of SmartWeave. Is it? Huh. Weird. Is I would have thought that would be part of the API that would just be there, but maybe I'm missing something. So this is the handle examples test API things. Strange. Redstone SmartWeave. Oh. Can't find name. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just a little confused. It's probably some silly thing I'm doing here, but it really seems like SmartWeave motherboard is the base class that supplies the implementation. SmartWeave allows to plug in different implementations. SmartWeave Global. Okay, this is the one. Okay. This class can be exposed as a global for contracts as SmartWeave implies an API. Okay. So if I want to... Okay. I don't love that. I think... So in my view, this should be something that gets passed into the interactions, I feel like. But whatever. It is what it is now. I think we're stuck with that API. So in this case... Let's see. So this is just dumb TypeScript stuff I don't know. Import as TypeScript. I want to basically import something as a different name. Okay, it is import. Let's see, as you can do that on the other side, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So a SmartWeave global as SmartWeave. Now, if I do I wish they had, I don't know. Really? How is that possible? Well, whatever. I will log that and see what happens. SmartWeave global as SmartWeave. Do they? Oh my goodness. Okay. Fine. Okay. Is this a matter of no. I bet. Okay. So let me, yeah, I bet what I have to do. Oh, this is all so icky to me. So what's going on here, I think, is just a little bit of an artifact of the way I'm testing. So when the contract is evaluated, or when it's run in the SmartWeave context, everything's going to be set up for me fine. But when I'm, requiring it, then things are getting wonky. It's interesting. I'll have to think about this a little bit. So what I think I need to do is let's go look at that SmartWeave. Oops, sorry, that SmartWeave global thing again. SmartWeave, this is TypeScript stuff. Where did that go? Not there. SmartWeave global. Constructor, Arweave default contract ID. I think I could just do declare. I think I could just do this because I'm never actually running this as is. So I could just do declare const SmartWeave global. I think this will work. It's basically again like a block dot height. All right, let's see what happens. I think that will work because in the context in which it's evaluated, that's all set up for me. Yay, cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. Um, yeah, so that's just me jumping through TypeScript hoops here, which is fine, honestly. I'm not, this is still a little new to me in terms of the context in which this is tested or like evaluated my tests, or not even that. It's not the context in which the code is read in my test is different than the context in which it's evaluated. So I have to make sure that these things are close enough to each other that it works in both cases. Because really, I'm just reading it in and then stringing the function for the case for my test. Yeah, actually, I should show that because this was a thing I remember tripped me up a little bit when I did the testing. So I was going based on the contract XYZ tests, but they're doing they're like simulating the execution of SmartWeave within memory, which is fine. Like that's a fine approach, but I actually want to interact. Yeah, actually not even simulating memory. That's because SmartWeave is always running locally. What it's doing is it doesn't actually interact with any real Arweave-like thing. It just does all the evaluation without really putting the contract on Arweave or even an Arweave-like thing. In this case, I want to interact with our local to really get the full Arweave-like interaction. And to do that, I need to have a stringified version of the contract. But over here, I can't just read this in because it has this like import and things to keep TypeScript happy, basically. Why does it say it's declared? But it's used. It's used right down here. Oh, I commented it out. Okay, fair enough. Okay, TypeScript. I'll give that to you. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I got derailed a little bit there. But in my case, yeah, I want all the TypeScript goodness of evaluating this and giving me type hints and lint and all that stuff. Like that's, if you're going to use TypeScript, right? Like that's half the value. But I need to be able to also send it into SmartWeave, and if I just read the whole file, this stuff is going to trip up SmartWeave. So what I do is I evaluate this by requiring it, and then I stringify the function, and that works just fine. But it's still a little tricky to get it to do what you want in both contexts, or mostly just do what you want in this context. So a little long-winded. Hopefully that made sense, but that's how I'm doing this. Again, like, take it all with a big grain of salt. I'm sort of learning this as I go here because mostly I've been working on not contract stuff at all, and this is really my first dive into contract stuff. Okay, so let's go back here. So our balance is, let's see, we're going over the entries. I don't like I, let's call it H, and then Q for the quantity. Maybe I should do QTY. Maybe. Sure. I tend to be a little more terse in ClojureScript, which as long as I'm choosing my names well enough, I think it's fine. But that's not necessarily the convention in JavaScript. Okay. So as long as our height, let's see, do we want to do it inclusive or not? So if I were to lock, I'm just trying to think about that. So if I'm at the end of a round and I unlock, I think we want to do it greater than. So it would be, let's see, is if H less than or equal to SmartWeave block, then we are going to balance 0, balance plus equal our quantity. There's a break, right? There's no early loop termination in ClojureScript, so I'm super not used to that. But that should work. So we'll exit early. Again, icky, I'll make a functional version, but I don't think me digging into JavaScript functional stuff on the stream is super worth it. So. Oh, but I did not. So run that. Uh-oh. We received 0. Really? So as long as the height... Did I do that backwards? No, that should work, right? Let's do this. Maybe this is not doing what I think. Wait, do we never get in there? Interesting. Okay. Let's put it here. We are getting to this code though, right? Have to be. Oh, duh. Right, because this should be a function call. Sorry, I'm definitely not tracking quite as well as I do sometimes today. It's just been a long week on a couple fronts. That's okay. Okay. So we got the height 0. Yeah, let me think about that again. So if you unlock right at the end of a round, I think that's right. Yeah, because if you like, let's say you unlock. Still thinking it through. So if you unlock on a block, it's going to mean you're going to have like an extra block. I think it would, right? So it's still, I'll just put a to do there, inclusive or exclusive. I'm just not sure which way makes more sense. I mean, ultimately, it's not going to matter that much either because I'm gonna have enough rounds for locking that it's going to have plenty of safety margin. Like I think, arguably, you could do 2, and it probably should be fine. But I think I'm going to do 3 initially. And the reason we want this, right, is because after the end of a round, people have to redistribute based on their payment plan, and you want to give them time to distribute their tokens and then time for any slashing to occur. And that could happen all in one round or 2 rounds, but that just seems aggressive, especially initially. Ultimately, probably end up with 2 rounds, I would think. That should be fine because that gives everyone a chance to distribute and then an entire round for any slashing before you can unlock tokens. And if you were to... So the payment, let's say, let's think this through. So if the payment plan is calculated based on who was locked throughout the entire round, but it's still kind of moot because I guess the No. So yeah, I guess this is a case I haven't thought through fully. So when you unlock, I think after you do that, you're basically out. So if you were to unlock on the last block of a round, you would not get any rewards for that entire round. You'd basically be considered out of the pool. So I hadn't thought through exactly how I'd handle that, because technically you're still locked, but um, in order for to have that margin be consistent all the time, you don't want to treat them as if they're locked. So, or staked, or whatever we want to call it. So you unlock at the end of the round. You want to have however many full rounds. Um, so if you, I guess it also depends on what I'm putting as the end. But the simple way to do this would be like, you unlock on, so say our round ended on block 10,000. You unlock on 10,001. That would, if you just add, say, 6,000 to that for 3 full rounds, that's going to put that block height at 6,001. And that would be fine to do less than. So, yeah, probably a little slower thinking that through than I could have been, but there, I think that's fine. Alrighty. Again, I ultimately want to do simulation testing on all this. That's, I think, how you really make sure to double check that, or like static analysis, or like formal analysis. Already doing static analysis. All right, so let's do this. Let's add some other stuff here. So I'm just going to kind of hack this in. 10. So we should see. Probably going to wrap up here, which I'm only halfway through the implementing this logic for the balance and transfer. Okay, so that's what we expect. Now, if I were to take out this, how many times do we mine? So we mine twice. What? Oof. Yeah, okay, so if we mine twice, so we're going to start there. So I think this should still, interesting. What height do we end up on? I was kind of thinking that one would still error. Two. So we're on block 1, block 2. I find that a little confusing, to be honest. I think I was right the first time. I think it makes sense to make the height at which you can access it. So we just need to make sure we add the right number when we're doing the staking. Okay, and as expected, we're failing. And then if I add another, we should be passing again. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up here. So that's the balance is implemented correctly. Want to make the functional version of this, but whatever, it's fine. Although honestly, in Clojure, so in Clojure, the way I would do this is probably something like a map indexed, and then like a take while, and the whole thing is lazy, so it terminates early. In JavaScript, nothing is. I don't think it's lazy in the same way. So the loop version might actually be the right thing, because the loop version will terminate early, and I don't know if you can do that in functional, using functional style in JavaScript. So I might leave it as the loop version. I don't love that, but whatever. But anyway, I need to check either way. If there's any lazy, let's see, lazy sequence JavaScript, I don't think it works that way though. Oh, generators. Oh, okay. But I don't think you get you're still kind of treating them like loopy things though. So yeah, this is probably the right way to do it, as much as it pains me. It would be kind of fun to have a ClojureScript version, but I just do not think that's the, like, to me, I think it's good that people can just read the contracts. And if I do it in ClojureScript, the output is definitely not going to be readable. And I think TypeScript will generate, well, actually, let me look. We're printing out a string, right? So I can just stringify toString, right? Yeah, this. Just curious what that actually looks like if all the variable names are. I just think it's nice that people could read the contract and know what it does without, jumping through a lot of hoops. Yeah. So this is all E1A. Huh. Yeah, it's pretty readable. It's not, if this was ClojureScript output, fascinating. There's some interesting stuff in here. But yeah, anyway, it's not hard to read. It's certainly a lot saner than ClojureScript. ClojureScript would be complete garbage. This at least you can look at, and let's even got the comments in there. Fascinating. Okay, yeah, sorry. This anyway you can look at and have a pretty good idea what's going on. That is super interesting, though. Like, I'm surprised. Well, this makes me want to look into exactly how the TypeScript's being generated, and some stuff in here is weird to me, but neither here nor there right now. Right. So the other thing that needs to be done is, obviously, this part's fine. If you're transferring a balance, there's a whole thing of like, would you want to be able to transfer staked balances? And no, I don't think you would, because that would mean I'd have to track who gets slashed across those transfers. So what needs to happen here is we need to yeah, interesting. We'll just have some little helper functions in here that we use. So we will need to sum up and figure out the balance that we currently have. Probably what happens is we take this little thing down here, we put it into another little function that ends up getting called different places. And then when we subtract, this has to be more complicated too. So this is going to loop through all the heights for the balances and subtract, the quantity that's available, I think in reverse order, right? So we want to start at the highest height where we have an available balance, and then subtract from that, so we sort of clean up the array when we transfer stuff. That will keep our state a little tidier. So that needs to be implemented. I'll probably implement that, offline, and then maybe just go over it next time, and then do the staking. And the staking really is just going to be, there's going to be array that maintains what you've staked, and then when you unstake, it's just going to go into this balances at the appropriate height. Should be relatively straightforward, I think. Actually, I think what we're doing now is the harder part of this. And the staking is just a matter of adding things, taking things out of the balance, and adding things to the staked balances, whatever we call that, and then putting it back into the balances at the right height when you unstake. All right, cool. I'm going to wrap it there. Sorry, I think this is a little less coherent of a stream than usual. Hopefully after holidays, I think I'll be a little more well-rested, and hopefully the next stream will be a little less fumbly. But anyway, I hope you got something out of this. I think it's been a decent demonstration of just how you would, how you develop a contract and write tests for it, and got to see the different pieces, how they fit together. I guess I didn't go over too much of the project setup, but I mean, that's just normal JavaScript, TypeScript stuff. I'm not an expert on that. Probably anyone who's using this regularly knows more about it than I do. And there's these other good sources, like you can just look at the contract XYZ stuff, or the Redstone SmartWeave stuff, and it's probably way better than me going over that part. But I'll wrap it up there. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Enjoy whatever holiday you're celebrating, and I'll see you in the new year. Thanks all. Later.